We are Noble 6, the newest member of Noble Team, and along with Nobles 1, 2, 5, we are ordered to go and investigate a relay that had gone offline.
I want that relay back online, Noble 1.
Assuming it to be insurrectionists, we are dropped in to investigate the area.
Let's go, 6.
Soon finding a burning warthog and a bunch of hiding farmers,
They're not rebels, they're farmers.
one of which told us that his son was killed by a monster.
Something.
Moving forward, we found some missing soldiers and ran into the monsters themselves, the Covenant. A collective of religious extremists made up of multiple different alien races. Humanity had been fighting and losing against the Covenant since they first ran into them. But we had no idea why they were here on Reach. But what we do know is that they hurt. Yeah. And once I'm done trying to run over the local wildlife, we can easily beat back the completely incompetent and outmatched aliens. With the area cleared, we move on to help some nearby troopers. And once they are successfully saved, we find our way to the relay outpost. And after a quick shootout, we close the door and lock ourselves in. George, no! You leave George alone, you bitch! Finding some survivors inside, we are then ambushed by a bunch of Invisicons, who knock me on my arse and attempt to give 6 a kiss.
No means no.
Upset that he was rejected, the elites kidnap a random
Negative,
trooper,
or stay on the entrance. 2, 5,
after
and
which
6,
we are given
clear
the order
hole.
to clear the hole. I am on it. I do love clearing holes. Montage time. Fucking jackal prick. After sufficiently silencing the sordid saboteur, we defeated the enemy and hit a button, allowing us to inform command that the Covenant were here.
Affirmative. It's the winter contingency.
May God help us all.
Next thing we know, we're being dropped into Sword Base, which is absolutely riddled with coveys. Fucking hell. Get the fuck out of my... I am the only one here doing anything. If you could stay out of my fucking line of vision, that would be amazing. Ah! Getting my shit together, we fight our way out of the base where we destroy 2 Covenant tanks. And with them gone, we mount a warthog and head to turn on a nearby anti-air system. That was... And once the AA system is officially turned, and when we have finished off the nearby Covenant, we head to go turn on a nearby comms relay. Or at least we did after wrangling Cat. Cat, where are you going? Why are you just legging it this way? Cat? Cat. Arriving at our destination, we turn on a generator, after which we fight our way through the nearby Covenant and go and turn on the relay itself. And with that done, we head back to Sword Base, which is overrun with illegal aliens. After softening up the Covenant, we engage them head on, eventually running into 2 heavily armoured hunters that you have to shoot in the arse to kill. But I die more to the fire of the other Covenant than I do to the hunters themselves. But with them dead, Cat ignores an elite. Cat. After which we jump into the elevator. Arriving on the next floor, we fight our way to the rest of Noble Team, and then begin to successfully fight our way to the roof of the building, where we soon begin to fight off the Covenant Banshees. And with us having won, the Covenant were on the run, and soon their ship is shot out to the sky. With our mission complete, we soon went to meet up with Dr. Halsey, an Oni scientist who specializes in the kidnapping and creating of child soldiers, the Spartans, meaning us. That bitch. Not wanting to listen to her, I slide my way down behind enemy lines, where we begin to stealthily take out the Covenant, but apparently stealth is not in June's vocabulary, as he soon opens fire, alerting the Covenant to our presence. Did you actually just... We were stealthing, June. Stealth. And now that I didn't have much of an option, I began to slaughter my way through the Covenant, wiping out as many of them as I could. And it goes surprisingly well. But nonetheless, all good things come to an end, and my nonchalant slaughter of the Covenant is soon stopped by Reach's native wildlife. Oh shit, I was hoping I could sneak past them, fuck. Well, get up the stairs! And my dogs. But once I managed to calm my dogs down, who had lost it because a bird had landed on the window, we cut down the mangled monstrosities, clearing the path to push ahead. Die, fucking birds. Arriving at a pump station, we find some civilians fighting the Covenant, and Kat asks us to help them, but that doesn't really go as planned. And with the civvies dead, I attempt to defeat the Covenant, but then I realise that I am out of bullets.
I need more bullets!
Rearming myself, it's time to engage. And then after a couple of deaths... Oh fuck. Fucking hell. June, could you be helpful please? Please June, help me. We soon finish up the Covenant and begin making our way to a nearby hydroelectric plant. Oh, it disappeared. While after defeating the Covenant station there, we have to defend June as he places explosives on the Covenant stealth pylon. Damn. Which would have gone a lot smoother if it wasn't for the Invisicons and the nearby hunters. But once they're completely wiped out, we are able to advance on through the nearby gate. But apparently driving a forklift through it was not a very smart idea, and I'm swiftly cut down by a Covenant turret. Not my smartest moment, but after destroying the turret that had destroyed me, I realised that June wasn't following. So I went back to him and realised that he didn't know the gate was open, and so he opened it again.
Okay, got him. Unlocking the gate.
Wiping out the remainder of the Covenant, we soon get an overview of the Covenant invasion force. God damn. It doesn't look good.
Nova 3 and Nova 6 live visual of a Covenant strike force.
The next morning, UNSC forces engaged the Covenant head on, and as the battle began, we blew up the Covenant stealth relay. After which, Kat jumped her Warthog over an exploded bridge, and with that, I'm back in control. Clearing the area, we're given a Warthog which we use to advance and attack the Covenant anti-air gun, which of course goes down without problem, allowing our ships to advance, meaning that we could now fight our way to our next objective, a nearby mining facility, where upon arrival I weaken the Covenant with the Warthog's missiles, after which we move in on foot, eventually taking down an elite Covenant zealot. Success. With the facility cleansed of the Covenant's existence, we steal the Covenant Wraith and begin to make our way to the next AA gun, which is surrounded by Covenant tanks, which are almost as dangerous as Kat. Kat! What the fuck was that? Avoiding being run over, we defeat the tanks and end up facing more hunters. I then quickly outmaneuver them, deciding that hiding on a rock and using a clone to distract them is preferable than fighting them head on. Defeating the hunters, we destroy the gun, after which we're picked up by George and I have a little rave. Soon after, we go through a Covenant shield and proceed to crash into the ground,
We're going down.
Look your armor, Spartan!
which I don't really care about as I get a jetpack.
Crew's dead, we shouldn't stay here.
Gib.
I'm showing hostiles all over the place.
Jetpack in hand, or more probably on back, we slaughter our way to the Covenant Spire, where we take the gravity lift up to the top and engage the sword-slashing psychopath who resides there. Fuck. Jetpack for the win. Afterwards we find a grunt with a fuel-rod cannon, which makes me panic because even though he may be weak, had he hit me he would have hit like a hunter on heroin. That was a very dangerous grunt. With the shield down, I jump to George and our ship moves in. Success. Well, a shite.
Now, somebody tell me this ain't happening.
UNSC frigate Grafton. Do you copy?
Grafton is dust. We need to get out of here now.
Okay, they're overcompensating. With the Grafton down, we begin to retreat. But thankfully we had Kat on our side, and she came up with a plan to use a slipspace drive to blow up the Covenant ship.
This sanctioned, sir.
What do you think?
But for that we would have to get into orbit. Thankfully Kat obtained information she wasn't meant to have, and we headed to the base of the Sabre program, where Noble 6 was once a pilot. And now that we've arrived and got into the Sabre, it's now time for the most painful mission in the game, because beating it on Legendary is complete utter torture for me, as I'm pretty shit and I have to defend the station against waves of Covenant, and for the first while I forget how to use missiles. The first of the Covenant's waves was made entirely out of Banshees, meaning they were all already dead. And once they're all destroyed, the station's defences are back online and the Covenant Seraphs soon arrive, which means soon the pain begins. And I'm going to admit I've never been good at this mission, and it haunts me to this day. Fuck! 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 Realizing that fighting these Seraphs head on was a stupid decision, fuck! I decide to hide behind the station instead and wait for them to die, and soon enough the enemy phantoms appear as well. Thankfully I'm still hiding like a bitch, and I just fire missiles at them from a distance. And once they're destroyed, we dock with the station and George floats his way over to our new bomb, after which we head to fight a nearby Covenant Corvette, which we plan to use to blow up the Covenant supercarrier. Upon arrival at the Corvette's location, we destroy its main engines, preventing it from escaping. And with them now immobilized, we begin to fight their reinforcements.
You can't what?
I can't swim.
And with only minimal problems, we soon have them all destroyed. And with that, we go to land on the Corvette itself. With our boots sort of on solid ground, we begin to fight our way into the Covenant Corvette, killing the elites from above, after which I drop down and begin fighting my way forward with much success. Fuck! Fuck. Fuel rod cannon holding bitch! After some actual success, we deactivate the shield door, letting George and his bomb onto the ship.
Make it quick, would ya?
And with even more fighting, we yet again advance and watch as the Savannah is destroyed.
Want?
With the loss of our allies, we make our way to the bridge and obtain ourselves an energy sword, which we then use to... which we use to great effect. Activating the refueling sequence, I begin to fight my way back to George and our bomb, hoping to soon finish the mission. But once we finally make our way back, we are soon swarmed by our alien adversaries. With most of them dead and me out of ammo, I get a checkpoint and we are quickly murdered. I am then stuck in a loop of respawning, rearming and re-dying. Fuck. Respawn, rearm and fighting, killing, dying, spawning, rearming, dying, respawning, rearming, and you get the picture. Fuck. Getting my shit together, I eventually kill my way through the Covenant swarm, after which George gives us some news.
It's gonna be like mad.
Time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there.
Picking us up, George flings us out of the
Tell her to
Corvette,
make it count.
after which he blows up the bomb, sacrificing himself to destroy both the Corvette and the Covenant supercarrier. Sadly, this was all in vain, as even more Covenant ships warp into the system. Meanwhile, Noble 6 falls from orbit down to Reach. God damn.
'Tis but a scratch.
Rearms and makes his way to New Alexandria.
That's fucked up.
Dropping into the city, we see that it has become a war zone, and what's even worse is it's full of suicide bombers.
We have reports of Covenant suicide squads.
They're fairly dangerous, so I carefully fight my way through them.
Kilo 40, Covenant Corvette raining hell. Stop that thing!
With the suiciders down, we begin to face the Covenant brutes,
Monkey.
who are much easier to deal with than the elites, as most of them don't have a shield. Our current objective is to protect civilians and fight our way to a nearby elevator. But the only problem was that it was already in use, so we had to hold the position until it wasn't. It begins. Fuck. That was a bad idea. Hammer time.
Glad you're on our side.
With the defense complete, we head down where we rearm and meet up with some ODST troopers, who kindly gave me a jetpack with which we soon used to jump our way forward towards the enemy, where I decided to kill them from a safe distance. And once they were suitably dead, I moved in and continued the slaughter on foot. Our next objective was to then advance to the nearby Traxxas tower, as we needed to clear it to evac the civilians. So upon approaching the tower, the battle began again and I was soon murdered. Fucking hell. Thankfully, second time's the charm and I yet again cut my way through the coveys, running into even more friendlies. But sadly these civilians are stupid and run right towards the enemy, some of them getting themselves killed. But now that we arrived at our destination, we begin to clear it out, but the only problem is that there is a brute with a hammer, and then one with a fuel rod cannon. Fuck you. Fuck. Whom is sadly one of the few brutes with an actual energy shield. Nonetheless, I eventually best him and clear the remaining enemies. With the roof cleared, we board a Falcon and the civilians are evacuated. Then we fight and flight our way through this war zone of a city as we make our way to some nearby deactivated anti-air missile batteries. We need them online so that the civilians can evacuate. Once I had cleared the landing zone, I hop off and head towards a nearby Warthog. And it's with this Warthog that I begin to push back the Covenant menace, and I have to face off against two of their tanks. Sadly, the gunner keeps getting distracted and it takes a little bit longer than I was hoping. No, focus on the tank. The tank, lad, the tank. The tank. The tank is more important. The tank is more important, and it is more dangerous. Thank you. But with the rates down, I go on foot and begin to clear my way to the batteries and turn them on. But for them to actually be activated, I have to get to the nearby control panel. But to do so, I have to fight through yet even more Covenant, as more and more enemies are dropped onto the battlefield. Why are the troopers ignoring the enemy? Hitting the button, the missiles are fired away.
Now.
And with that, the civilians are safely evacuated. 6 is about to fly back and forth across the skies of New Alexandria, as our next goal is to disable a bunch of Covenant jammers. So I now go and fly towards the first of the jammers. Landing on the building where it's located, I begin to massacre my way through grunts, jackals, and of course a plethora of brutes. After which I overload the jammer and a bunch of elites arrive. Elated at their stupidity of believing that they stood a chance, I cut my way back to my Falcon. 1 jammer down, 2 to go. But before I can move on to the next one, I have to defeat some nearby hunters. Or at least I do eventually, and with them dead, a single surviving trooper can be evacuated. After which I head towards the second jammer, where I'm quickly murdered. Thankfully the second time around I am much more successful and I make it to the nearby elevator. Arriving at our designated floor, it is eerily quiet, and we soon know why, as after disabling the jammer, I am quickly ambushed by a bunch of bugs. I decide the best way to get out of here is to just run for it. Thankfully, I make it out on the second attempt. 2 jammers down, 1 to go. Did I just... Oh, fuck. But before heading for the third, I have to fight multiple banshees and a phantom while defending another falcon. After succeeding to both protect the said falcon and set my own one on fire, I head to the building where the last jammer resides, and upon landing I use my camouflage. With the Covenant outside dead, I head on inside, and oh would you look at that, there's some hunters, and by some, I mean 4 of them. Once I finally have them bested, I overload the jammer and head out to help the others as the Covenant were attacking the only HQ. So I fight my way there and start to destroy all the Covenant's shade turrets. And soon enough they're all destroyed and I'm able to land and meet up with the rest of Noble Team.
You didn't answer my question.
You want to know if we're losing?
I know we're losing. I want to know if we've lost.
Things weren't going well and they quickly got worse. And when we ran for it, it quickly went from worse to abysmal, as we lost another member. We were definitely losing the war, and with Cat dead, we had to move on to our next mission, where we immediately began to exact our revenge. After the slaughter, I turned the corner and found a scorpion, which means it's time for a tank section. Quickly I realised that driving around corners backwards is much more effective as I get shot a lot less. But it is also very slow. Nonetheless, I arrive at some Covenant AA guns, which are quickly dealt with.
Nice job, 6.
And now I could begin to fight my way yet again back to Sword Base. And I was doing rather well, at least I was, till I shot a rock and blew up one of my tracks. Cause I'm stupid. But enough with the tank, it's time to go back on foot. Yay. Shite. Getting inside, we find that the elevator isn't working, so I have to fight through a horde of jackals instead. Arriving at the right floor, we defeat the rest of the Covenant, and I hit a button, leaving us to the dead end.
Here, 2,000 feet underground. I didn't bring my shovel, Commander.
Thankfully, a wall opens up, letting us head underground. And would you look at that? Halsey is still alive.
Casualty reports have you listed as...
Yes, well, as they say, news of my death has been greatly exaggerated.
Yay. With that terrible revelation aside, we now have to defend the door against a horde of Covenant. But don't worry, we get a couple of useless turrets, which I quickly give up on because turning them back on is a death sentence. So now for a very long montage. This was a very long battle, but thankfully we succeed and Noble Team runs its way to Dr. Halsey and our new AI friend.
She has chosen you as her couriers. You are to take her to the UNSC shipbreaking yard in Azad.
With the AI now in hand, June goes with Halsey to protect her as the rest of us leaves with Cortana. But as usual, nothing
Bad ever happens to the Kennedys!
But as usual, nothing ever goes right, and we're getting absolutely butchered. So Carter tries to draw the Covenant away, and Emil and Six jump out. I then push forward with Emil until we find the mongoose, which I decide to let him drive for a bit. Okay, let's hope you're good at driving. But that was a bad idea, as he's really slow, so I tell him he's fired and take over, after which I zoom my way under the Covenant and up over a bridge. With the bridge jumped, I attempt to beat the nearby Covenant, who have a tank. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck you. Well, thankfully after a couple of deaths I managed to blow it up. Pushing forward, we soon get cornered, but Carter soon appears yet again and sacrifices himself so we can move on and complete the mission. Good soldiers follow orders. We then head into a cave that made me think of the clones in Geonosis, as I wish I could burn these fucking bugs. Oh, as soon as you pop around the corner, it's just instant. Emil, can you hurry up, please? I almost got killed. With the annoying flying fuckers sent back to hell where they belong, we leave the cave and arrive at the shipbreaking yard. There is an absolute horde of Covenant here, but thankfully it only takes a handful of deaths for me to push on and head inside. Fuck you. And now that I'm inside, I get to continuously die my way forward. Fuck. Fuck you. Fucking hell. Fuck you. After defeating some hunters, I realized that this mission is much longer than I remembered. Alright, come on Emil, we have places to be. This is taking way longer than I was expecting. And then I die again. Fuck! Killing the sordid prick, I finally make it back outside.
We're running out of time here, Spartans.
Sadly, a lot of the Covenant also decided to go out for some air, and they quickly surround me. The fight goes on, and I continue the slaughter, which eventually leads to me exploding. And to me also being gunned down. Fuck. And to being blown up again. This slightly irritated me, so I went in with my energy sword, which got mixed results. But I eventually succeeded, and more Covenant arrived to undo my success, as MC Hammer slaps the absolute shit out of me. Fuckity fuck fuck fuck. Fuck you. What the? But I do eventually kill this raging monkey. And from there I'm able to easily cut my way through the rest of them. And from there I'm able to easily cut my way through the rest of the Covenant, who are still being dropped in. This is fucking painful. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck you, bitch. But with that, the Covenant are dead, and we hand Cortana over to Captain Keyes.
Catherine assured me I could count on you. Not just me, sir. They'll be remembered.
But after handing Cortana over, Emil is attacked while manning an AA gun. And there goes another member of Noble Team. With Emil dead, we can't leave as someone needs to man the gun.
Good luck to you, Spartan.
But to do that, I have to actually get there first, which is a pain in the arse. Fuck you. See, I hit him, pointing him inside the room, and somehow he flew out of the room. That is confusing me. But with that out of the way, and the pain gone, I am able to man the gun. So we'll let the murder commence. The best way to do this mission is to just move the gun back and forth while shooting, so that the phantoms can't hit you. And with that, I destroy the rest of the Covenant. And with the skies mostly clear, the Pillar of Autumn is able to escape. And with that, Noble 6 moves on to his final mission. Survive. Which for a bit I managed to do. But this is one mission 6 can't complete, as he drops his helmet and fights to the bitter end. As the lone wolf falls heroically like the rest of Noble Team. Except for June. Everyone forgets about June. But he didn't really do much. And with that, we've reached the end. I'll see you next time.